Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukenessmonster. Today we're going to be talking about some super exciting Star Wars, the Black Series leaks and rumors. Now if you guys did miss my last leak and rumor video, I highly suggest you guys go check that one out. But basically I talked about how I got all of this information from somebody who claims to have gotten it directly from a Hasbro employee. Some of the leaks and rumors in the last video were a little iffy and I wasn't too sure about it, and that's why I highly suggest you guys take all of these with a grain of salt. But I just wanted to get all that information out there for you guys to digest. But today we got a ton more leaks and rumors from the exact same source. And so in this video we're going to be talking about all of these brand new leaks and rumors that were just given to me. Again, I'm not entirely sure how valid these leaks and rumors are. I believe some of them have a little bit more validity to them than others, and that's why I suggest you guys please take all of this with a grain of salt. Nothing is officially confirmed, and I wouldn't take anything for fact until Yakface teases something or Hasbro officially announces something. So again, take all of this with a grain of salt because some of them sound a little crazy and some of them sound kind of reasonable. So I just wanted to get all this information out there for you guys to kind of digest and let me know what you guys think about all of this. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Really quick though, the person who won our Black Series Clone 2-pack giveaway never reached out to claim their prize, and we do have to pick a winner for this guy, so we are going to be picking a brand new winner. You guys will have about a week left to enter if you still want to. All you have to do is 1, make sure you're subbed to the channel, and 2, comment on my most anticipated Black Series figures of 2025 video. This one is pinned in the card and linked in the description. Make sure to go leave a comment on that video if you do want to enter. Jumping right into it, I want to talk about some A New Hope figures because one of them I completely forgot to mention in my last video. This is a rumor that I had before and I just forgot to put it in the video for some reason. But one of the figures that it looks like is on this leak and rumor list is a New Hope Ben Kenobi. This makes a lot of sense for the Return to Tatooine campaign. We're getting obviously a Luke and Leia, which we've already been getting in hand, a Han and Chewie, which have been rumored for quite a while now, and it makes sense that the last one of that main crew that we don't have yet would be a Ben Kenobi. That figure that we already have is super old, and so this one makes a whole lot of sense, especially with Hasbro's Return to Tatooine campaign going on right now. So yeah, Ben Kenobi makes a lot of sense, and it's one that I am really excited for because he is in desperate need of an upgrade. And of course, I did just briefly mention Han and Chewie, but I do want to state that these two are also on this leak list. Now, of course, we've already known about these two for quite a while now. We've seen factory leaks for both of the characters. And we've also had Yakface pretty much confirm in his rumor list on yakface.com that these two figures are coming. So this one is no surprise. Of course, if you guys haven't checked out Yakface, make sure to go check him out. He's always linked in the description. But continuing with the New Hope characters, there's actually 2 more. First up is a New Hope R2-D2. And this one doesn't really surprise me. I don't expect to get a new mold for this one. The R2-D2 mold we just got is great, and I'm assuming that this just means they're going to be repacking it in a New Hope packaging. We also do have a rumored Revenge of the Sith R2-D2 as well, so interesting that they're going to be doing so many R2-D2s. They also just did the Mandalorian re-release of R2-D2 last year, and so it's interesting, but to be honest, I can't say I'm surprised. R2-D2 is one of Hasbro's most popular characters and one of their best sellers, and so I'm sure they're going to try to get as many repacks out of him as possible, and I'm sure that Astromech mold was not cheap, and so they're going to get as many reuses, repaints, and re-releases as they can get. But I do hope they decide to do some kind of like Tatooine like deco on him, give him like the sandy paint apps on him. That's what I would mainly hope for, but at this point it's hard to say. And interesting enough, there's also a C-3PO on this list for A New Hope. Now, C-3PO is another one of those figures that we've gotten the same mold over and over and over again for so long, and he is in desperate need of a new figure with much better articulation. Obviously a vac metal finish would be the ideal situation, but I'm not sure if Hasbro's ever going to go there. This doesn't even state if it's going to be a new mold. It could just be a straight re-release of C-3PO in A New Hope packaging, but I kind of don't think that's the case. I have a feeling that this will be a new mold for C-3PO, and that's because this one on this leak list for late 2026. So this one is quite a ways away at this point, and I think this one would kind of be outside of Hasbro's Return to Tatooine campaign. But late 2026 is quite interesting, and it kind of makes me think that since they're waiting so long, it's going to be a new mold. But I also have another full list here of about 25 figures that are rumored for late 2026 and beyond. And unfortunately, I've been told I'm not quite allowed to talk about those just yet. So stay tuned for future videos whenever I do get a chance to talk about those. But we've got a lot of cool figures coming according to this leak list. Again, take it all with a grain of salt, but I'm excited to be talking about some of that stuff here in the future. Next up, we actually do have some more figures from the Mando and Grogu movie, and some of these are pretty interesting. First up is the character called Colonel Bishop. And I had absolutely no clue who this character was, and that's because apparently this is going to be a new character. I did a little bit of research, and right now the rumor floating around is that Colonel Bishop is going to be a New Republic officer played by Sigourney Weaver, which is very interesting. So hopefully we'll find out some more information about this character in the future, but as of right now, she is on this leak list, and I really don't know much else about it or the character just because we haven't really seen it before. It's a new character, so pretty interesting to see what that evolves into. Next up on the leak list for the Mando and Grogu movie is Carson Teva, and this is one that just surprises me that they haven't done sooner. He's been in The Mandalorian, he's been in the Ahsoka show, and it would make sense they would do a figure in either one of those shows for him, but it looks like, according to this leak list, he'll be finally getting a figure for the Mando and Grogu movie. Now, judging by the end of Mando Season 3, we do see Zeb talking to Carson Teva in the bar at the end. And we know that Zeb is also rumored to be getting a figure for this movie, and so it would make some sense that Carson Teva would be involved in the movie in some way, and so this one makes sense, and to be honest, it's just weird they haven't done this one sooner. In the last video, we did talk about there being a Snowtrooper Commander leaked for the Mando and Grogu movie, and according to this list, it looks like a standard Snowtrooper has also been added to that. This would make sense if they're going to be going out of their way to make a new mold for the Snowtrooper Commander. It would make sense that they're going to be reusing that for a standard Snowtrooper, especially with as much as we've seen the Snowtrooper in the trailers, or I guess the leaked trailers for Mando and Grogu. It would probably make sense that the standard Snowtrooper would be getting a figure. This one makes a lot of sense, and I'm excited for, because I'm just fingers crossed hoping it's a new mold. At this point, it's not officially confirmed it's going to be a new mold, but I'm really hoping so. And then last up for the Mando and Grogu movie for today, we do have something just called Stormtrooper, so we don't know if this is going to be like some kind of Stormtrooper Commander or some kind of like Stormtrooper Remnant. We don't really know the type of Stormtrooper, but my guess is that it's probably just going to be a repack of the standard Stormtrooper that we've gotten. Probably no weathering or anything like that, but at this point, like I said, it's hard to tell because this leak just is titled Stormtrooper, so we'll have to wait and see, but again, this makes sense. The Hasbro is going to release Stormtroopers for anything that they can, and so if there's a lot of Stormtroopers in this movie, they're going to release a figure for it. That is a no-brainer to me. Moving on to Skeleton Crew, there are two figures for Skeleton Crew on this leak list. One of them is a Jod Nanawood. It doesn't clarify which outfit it is, but I think my assumption is that it's going to be the like pirate outfit with the helmet. We do see him wear this in like the final battle of the show, and it's definitely his cooler appearance in the show, and so I'm 100% sure that this one is going to be getting a figure at some point or another, whether it's on this leak list or not. It is just a no-brainer for Hasbro, and it allows them to get another reuse out of that Jod Nanawood mold they already made, and so I'm pretty confident in this one, whether it's on the leak list or not, but this one makes a lot of sense to me, and I think the helmet is definitely the cooler version of Jod, and so like I said, it makes sense that this one would be getting a figure. And then there's also the Pirate Vane on the list. And if you didn't know, this is the same pirate that showed up in Mando Season 3. He wouldn't be my first choice for pirates to get from Skeleton Crew. I think, obviously, the Urkel pirate would be my first choice. But this one would make sense just from a logistical standpoint because we already do see him in Mando Season 3. So he's probably a little bit more recognizable than some of the other pirates. So this one makes sense to me, and I think it'll sell decently well. Next up, we're going to be jumping into Andor, and this is kind of where some of these are a little crazy to me. We do have a new Luthen on here, and the main reason some of these sound crazy to me is just because the first wave of figures in Season 1 sold pretty bad. They peg-warmed, they're very cheap on the aftermarket. Nobody really wanted the normal dressed characters as action figures, and there's a few of those on this list, and that's why it's kind of surprising to me. But again, I bet Luthen is going to play a pretty big role in Andor Season 2, and so I would assume he's going to be getting an Andor Season 2 appearance. And that's the exact same case for Cinta Kaz. I apologize if I pronounced her name wrong. I had to look up who this character was because I did not even remember the character from the show. That's how surprising I am this one's on the list. Again, I think she was a great character in the show, but she's kind of forgettable by the end of it. And it's not one that I'm like, man, I really need an action figure of her. And I think Hasbro kind of learned their lesson with the first wave of Andor figures. And so that's why this one is kind of surprising to be on this list. Because, Val sold really badly. She was in Ollie's like not that long ago, and so these are the most kind of ridiculous ones on this list to me. I'm guessing that Hasbro has some kind of contractual obligation with Lucasfilm to create figures for their new media, like Andor Season 2, and so maybe they're like under contract and have to make these characters whether they know they're going to sell well or not. That's my best guess. But both of those two just seem kind of weird to me. Next up on this list is a Kino Loy. This is the prisoner from Season 1. We don't know if he lived or died, which is interesting to me. It does not clarify if this is a Season 1 appearance or a Season 2 appearance, so I think it very well could be either. So I guess if he shows up in Season 2, I wouldn't be surprised, but if this figure ends up being a Season 1 appearance, I wouldn't be surprised either. This is one of my favorite characters from Season 1. He's such a good character, and I would love to get a figure of him, and so I'm really excited to see this one on the list, and I think this is one of the few Andor Season 1 and 2 characters that would sell pretty well. And so this is one that I'm excited for, and I hope the rumor is true for this one. And then to wrap up the Andor figures, we actually have 2 Andor figures on this leak list. One of them is just titled Cassian Andor, and the other one is titled Cassian Andor Target Exclusive. And so I'm assuming one of these 2 figures is going to be the TIE Pilot outfit that we've already seen in the trailers and we've seen the leaked figures for. But there's a second Cassian Andor here that we really have no idea what the appearance is going to be for this figure. And so yeah, that's one that I think we're going to have to wait for the show to come out to really see. But they did 3 or 4 appearances of Cassian in the Season 1 wave for BlackSeries, and so I would not be surprised if we're getting 2 or 3 Andor figures for Season 2. And I think this is going to be one of the biggest factors in actually verifying if this leaker is valid or not, is if one of these Andor figures turns out to be a Target exclusive, because as of right now on yakface.com, the one Andor that we do have leaked, which is the TIE Pilot outfit, is not listed as a Target exclusive, and so if that figure or another Cassian Andor gets revealed to be a Target exclusive, I think that will definitely add a lot of validity to these leaks. But at this point, it's hard to tell, and that's something I'm looking forward to see if one of these Cassian Andors does end up being a Target exclusive or not. Next up, we're going to be jumping into Revenge of the Sith. Obviously, we do have the factory leaks for the Mace Windu and the Supreme Chancellor Palpatine that have already been going around for a while, and Yakface has already confirmed it on his leak list. So those 2 are on this list. I did want to clarify that, but that's important because those 2 were really big for the Chancellor's arrest scene in Revenge of the Sith, and there are quite a few more figures from that scene on this list. The first of which is actually Kit Fisto. This is another one that we've already seen leaked parts for, and Yakface has already confirmed that this one is going to be getting a Revenge of the Sith packaging release, and so Kit Fisto makes sense, and with this whole Chancellor arrest theme going on right now, Kit Fisto is not a surprise. Obviously, we've already seen this one. But there's 2 more figures from this scene, which are the last 2 Jedi. That is actually going to be, of course, a Sassy Tin and a Agen Kalor. I apologize if I pronounced their names wrong. I'm not the best with alien names. But if this is true, this is really exciting because it seems like Hasbro's kind of making a focus for the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith on this specific scene, which is great because it's one of the coolest scenes in all of Star Wars. Obviously, we already have the leaks for the Kit Fisto and the Mace Windu and the Palpatine, and so now seeing these rumors for the Sassy Tin and the Agen Kalor, again, I apologize if I pronounce it wrong, it's pretty exciting, and these are 2 Jedi Masters that we've never seen in the Black Series before, and so getting some more Revenge of the Sith Jedi Masters like this is just really cool to see, especially with the release of Ki-Adi-Mundi not that long ago, and the rumored Attack the Clones Barriss. These are just really cool to get, and it's really going to complete this kind of theme they have going on right now, so these are 2 that I am beyond excited for. And we also have a Clone Pilot Oddball on this list, and this is another one of the more odd choices on this league list, pun intended. But yeah, jokes aside, this is one that I think is a really cool figure to get. I do like the pilot designs from Revenge of the Sith, especially from that Arc 170, and so it's a figure that I'd be really happy to see, but it's not one that I really thought we ever would see. But I guess, like I said, there's no better time to do figures like this than the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. But I would deem this one a little iffy on the leak list, just because he seems like a little too obscure to be made a figure of. But I guess Hasbro's made figures of more obscure characters than him, so we'll have to wait and see. But this is one of those I would deem kind of iffy on this list. But I'm definitely excited for it if it's true, because it's one I'd love to get. And unfortunately, this video is actually going really, really long. We still have some Force Awakens figures to talk about, Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ahsoka, Empire Strikes Back, a ton of gaming figures, some roleplay items, as well as an entire canceled Acolyte wave, and all of those will have to be coming in a future video because we are already at like 15 minutes on this video, and we're gonna have to split it up into a separate video, so stay tuned for that because we do have some more leaks coming. So yeah, that is all of the leaks and rumors that we do have for today. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to get on 1, hit that like button, and 2, subscribe. I'd love to know what you guys have to say and think about all of these leaks and rumors. Like I said, some of them sound a little bit crazier than others, so I'd love to know what you guys have to say about them. Again, take it all with a grain of salt because I do not know if these are completely valid or not, but I do believe there is some validity behind it. But that is going to do it for this video, so I'll see you guys in the next one.